What is up, everybody? Sean here, and this is a Video Ranking Academy private hangout. We're doing Q&A. We're going to maybe be doing some channel reviews, engaging with you. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks so much for checking this out. There'll be a lot of value because we have a bunch of different questions coming in from people in the community that were also a part of just one in particular launch that we did. And so this is a private group. So we have a lot of people in VRA, but if you're having access to this content, it's because you were part of a specific offer. So anyways, I have Heather on the call with me. And Heather, how's it going?
Good. It's going good. I'm really excited to get into these questions. We have a lot of questions that came in on the page. So I'm super excited to jump into those with you.
Absolutely. And if you haven't met Heather, so she's, we've probably met from Think Media Video Influencers. You've seen me inside of VRA. You've probably met Heather in the private Facebook group. But she is our operations and marketing officer here at Team Cannel. And she is a ninja. She does a lot of, not only does she do her own homeschool channel, and so I'm excited for her to share a lot of tips because really, uploading maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that. She's been able to grow her channel to about 7,500 subscribers, close to 10,000 now actually, and well over 250,000 video views using the principles in VRA. Plus she's a branding expert, just kind of an online marketing expert. So basically anything, like her advice is as good as mine, if not better. So two of us together, we love to just sometimes tag team questions as well as looking at your channels and doing insights and things like that. But Heather, we definitely have people on. And so thanks so much for being here. It looks like it's working. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for checking this out as well. There should be a lot of value. Just want to welcome Michelle, CJ, Jennifer, Renata, Tommy, guys, thanks so much for being here. We see your questions. And also, if you should be watching on the watch page that Heather sent out a link to it. So there should be Facebook comments below. That's the best place to submit any questions while we're doing this. And we'll dive right into it. But before we start, I wanted to just kind of give a brief state of the union to add value right up at the beginning here for you guys, and to kind of just remind us, because we're going to go into all kinds of different directions with your questions, but kind of remind us how amazing right now is, and how big of a deal and how much opportunity there is for you, for me, for all of us online, because we really are living in a window of opportunity. You know, I don't know if you were ready to take notes, but this would be worth writing down. YouTube and the internet will never be less crowded than it is today. It will never again in history be less crowded than it is today, right? So sometimes we worry maybe about how crowded it is, how much competition there is. And we should think about that. But here's the thing. It's going to be a lot worse in a year, right? It'll never be less crowded than it is right at this moment. And that reality is something that's been driving me ever since I kind of had the light bulb moment of what was happening on the internet. And I want to encourage you that even if you feel like you're a little bit late to the party is just getting started. And the fact that you're in VRA watching this content, you've already possibly started posting videos or you're researching your videos, you have such a huge advantage. Heather and I are coming to you from Las Vegas. She's in north, I'm in south. I'm in a suburban neighborhood here, and there's houses all around me. And the reality is that still 99 out of 100 people around me have no idea. Your neighbors, they have no idea that this is happening. They have no idea that people are making money on the internet, building lives on their own terms, promoting their businesses, existing businesses in new and creative ways, potentially leveraging free mediums. They don't know this is happening. When you live inside the VRA Facebook group, you feel like we're kind of in our own bubble. We're like, everybody knows, and look at all these people. And you're probably in other Facebook groups, and you probably watch other YouTube influencers or people that are training and online marketers. And we can feel like it's super crowded and crazy. It makes me think of, I just went to this event called Traffic Conversion in San Diego. There were 6,000 people there. It's a lot of people. But like, that's like everybody. And obviously nobody went, but that was like pretty much everybody goes. So like, there's only 6,000 people in a way, like that are really that deep in the digital marketing space. But let's compare that to Comic-Con. because it's at the San Diego Convention Center. So I thought it was a big conference. I was like, man, 6,000 people, that's a lot of people. That's big for me. Then we're driving with an Uber driver. And maybe if you guys know the punchline of this, we're talking about Comic-Con. I was like, how big is Comic-Con compared? Because it was hard to find a hotel. I thought this was the only conference happening. 6,000 people. I thought it shut the city down. Turns out Comic-Con is over 150,000 people in San Diego. So the reason the hotels were shut down had nothing to do with our little event of online marketers. There was actually a technology conference that was taking up 90% of the convention center, and this little event was taking up like 5% of it. What's the point? The point is it's still early. So right off the top, before we get into these questions, I just want to remind you, YouTube will never be less crowded than it is today. And so in 2018, there's no reason to even worry about competition too much, because what are you going to do about it? What you can do about it is put in the work. What you can do about it is hustle now. So the second thing I want to say, and then we'll just dive right into it, is how should you respond to the window of opportunity right now? I think there's two things I want to encourage you to do. Number one, I want to encourage you to outwork the competition. Now, you might be already saying, Sean, I'm working really hard. I got a family. I got other things that I'm doing. Heather and I, family is a huge priority for us. We understand balance. We understand all that kind of stuff. However, there's something about putting in extra work when there's massive opportunity. And there is massive opportunity right now. So one of our favorite quotes we talk about a lot is from Dave Ramsey. And it says this, it says, live today like no one else, so that later in life, you can live like no one else. Are you willing to get a little crazy in your life? Maybe that just means really optimizing your time with family, with kids, really starting to pay attention to your calendar with the details, but really putting in the extra work, the extra hustle for a couple years, by the way, for a few years. I'm not talking about forever. I'm saying that when there is a window of opportunity, we want to maximize that to the fullest extent. And to be honest, Heather and I, that's the reality we're still living in. You like, in a way, we've arrived or whatever, you know, we do this full time, our channels are established or whatever, but we are still seeing it like, man, things are not always going to be as good as they are right now. There was going to be a time when we're like, dude, when all those views or how easy it was to rank videos, you might be like, it's hard to rank videos. It'll be harder. You know, 5 years from now, this might not even be a strategy, but it's a strategy right now, ranking, dominating, getting videos. So I want to encourage you, outwork the competition. Apply that tip to your own reality, but outwork the competition, because the upside is so incredible that you could maybe go full-time, or maybe just create an extra couple hundred or an extra $1,000 of income every month to supplement your family's income, or maybe double your business, or maybe just establish yourself as a brand or an influencer, or raise money for a cause you care about. Whatever it is, that there's this window of opportunity right now that I want you to go out all in on, and I want you to outwork the competition. Having gone to just these couple events, the interesting thing is that one of the biggest things they talked about at Traffic and Conversion was they were like, Facebook ad costs are going up. Facebook organic reach is going down. Talking about Facebook. Facebook's harder than ever to break through. Instagram's getting more crowded. And here's a crazy trend that I noticed. All these people that are actually influencers on other platforms want to move to YouTube. If you've ever heard of Pat Flynn, he has a famous podcast called Smart Passive Income. He's going all in on YouTube. He's a podcast blogger. Mari Smith, the queen of Facebook, all she really does is Facebook. She's like, man, I need to start a YouTube channel. We did an interview with her. She's like, I need to get on YouTube. Everybody we talked to at Social Media Marketing World last week was like, man, organic reach, different things are struggling on other platforms. I need to be on YouTube. That means there's massive opportunity. Everyone's seeing it. If you're already here and you can see me and hear my voice, or you're just listening to this on the replay, go all in. And number one, outwork the competition. But number two, and then we'll jump into the questions, I also want you to outthink the competition. It's not just about brawn and not just about hard work. It's about smart work. It's about strategy. That's what VRA is. So we don't want to just put in brute hustle, because you've probably done that. You've probably put in tons of work that hasn't had a lot of results. VRA is a strategy. It's a system. It's a proven plan that works if you work it. And it's a different strategy than what everybody else is doing. To this day, I'm looking at even my competitors, and I'm really thankful that none of them buy VRA, although they all could buy it. It's available for them to buy. And I look at how they tag their videos, how they position their videos, how they title their videos. And I'm like, man, it's 2018. They're still doing it wrong. There's a reason why we're still winning, because they're still doing it wrong. Or they're doing it all right, but they could be having infinite more upside. We continue to just release new videos, discovering new keywords every single day. Now, you might be feeling like, Sean, share a little bit of that love. And that's what this call is about. Like, we'll do some keyword research, help you find some stuff. What's the point? I want you to outwork the competition, but also outthink, out-strategize the competition. And that's what this call is about. And as we get into it, if you take nothing else away, I just want to recharge your fuel cells a little bit, recharge your battery. Hopefully you can be plugged in to Team Cannell, because we want to encourage you to be like, look, if you got to sprint for the next 1 to 2 years, but that establishes you and builds a legacy for you for the next 20 to 40 years, would it be worth it? Yeah, it would, right? If you got to sprint for the next 5 years, but it changes the next 50, would that be worth it? Absolutely. We've blazed that path and we're living in that reality and we're continuing to pioneer that path. I know that same reality could be true for you. And so I just kind of want to share that at the top of the call. If you got value out of that, let me know something in the questions if you can hear me loud and clear, because I see now we have people on here. It's time to outthink the competition, outwork the competition, and let's strategize and dive in right now. We got a lot of questions, so I'm ready to rock, and Heather's on here with me. Michelle says, how do you balance an email list with Patreon updates? Is it okay to copy and paste some info? Will supporters who are on both get annoyed that you're updating about the same thing? Heather might have some 2 cents on this, but here's one thing I've learned. This is a big deal. Nobody's paying as much attention to you as you think they are. Even people who are on Patreons of yours, on your email list. And here's what I mean. We have this idea, like, we send out an email newsletter. I guess the assumption I always like to make is that nobody sees it. Even if they opened it, I assume like they didn't. And that's why we like to communicate on multiple channels, multiple times. The short answer is, I think you're fine. I think you should communicate more places more often, because the world is more distracted than ever before. And that's why having multi-channel, why sometimes maybe letting people on Instagram know you have a new video out, sending out an email, hoping that your subscribers get a notification. Here's what I also like to assume. I always want to assume subscribers. I actually like to assume everything's broken. It's the best mindset I found. So then we can take actions in response to that. So we are like, great, everyone saw the email. I like to assume they did it. So we continue to hustle on social. I hope everyone saw that tweet. They probably did it. So we posted elsewhere. Does that make sense? So I think communicate more places more often is always a great idea.
Yeah, I would add to that communicating differently too. So the way that you speak maybe to your Patreon audience might not be the same as you're speaking to your newsletter, depending on what that looks like in the way that your copy is on those different platforms. So on Patreon, if you're just pushing out updates, then that might be the way that that copy is always written. But in your newsletter, if it's more of a pen pal, if it's more of like, hey, this is what's happening right now in my world, then you would probably speak to that audience a little bit different. Now, you can also make your newsletter all about whatever the topic is, and then only make your PS about what is happening on Patreon. Every time it could be the PS inside of your newsletter. So there's a lot of ways that you can do it. But again, like Sean said, be everywhere all the time as much as you can when it comes to that. Don't feel like they already saw it one time, they won't want to see it again. So I recommend what Sean recommended. Go figure, right, Sean?
Boom. Renata asks, so one of my most popular videos ranks on page 1 for the phrase long hair updos with hair sticks, but none of the tags rank. How could none of my tags rank is basically the question. I have some good keyword phrases. So a couple things, and this is great, and this will get into some tactical stuff here for VRA. So a couple things with the tags. Let me just address some of those. Number one, for all of VRA, one-word tags, there's no reason to ever use them. You'll never rank for bun. You'll never rank for hair bun. You'll probably never rank for hairstyle tutorial. So what you want to be doing is focusing on long tail keywords. Now, what you're saying is long hair updos with hair sticks ranks. So let's see. And maybe it does or it doesn't. Let's see if we can find this channel. So it doesn't look. So let me know maybe which keyword you think would rank. But this is great training right at the top for VRA strategies. So long hair updos with hair sticks. Here's how I would do my keyword research for this is I would go long hair updos. So a couple things. That should probably be one of your tags, like long hair updo, which it is. That'd still be hard to rank for, but it is. And then I would keep going on from there. So other tags that would probably be applicable to this video. Is it a formal style? Go ahead and use the formal one. Is it easy? If it's hard, then don't do easy because everything is about staying congruent and aligned. So maybe you go long hair updos, easy, comma, long hair updos, tutorials, comma, and let's see here, long hair updos with hair sticks. So you have to keep looking around there. So we can dig a little bit more into this, but I want to spend some time here because this is going to apply to everybody in VRA as far as how we execute VRA the best. Couple things as well. There's no reason why you can't do a long hair updos with hair sticks video. But this is why in VRA we teach research before you ever press record, because we actually want to find the keyword exact thing we want to rank for first, and then build a video around it, and making it a little bit more long tail, meaning it has multiple keywords in it, would be best. So let's look for like a great video idea. And this could maybe be one of your next video ideas. Long hair updos with braids. Easy updos for long hair braids. Like that could be a great video idea. A little bit competitive, sure, but even still, because some of these big channels. But then the way tagging works is you then want to take long hair updos, right? And stack only the rest. So if it's not for homecoming, don't use homecoming, but you want to use all long tail keywords. And remember these strategies. We can go underscore space and look for it in a sentence. So hairstyles for long hair updos, how to do long hair updos. So that could be a tag. These could all be tags. And if we look for instance, now you do say infinity bun. So here's the challenge. Now I'm also not a specialist in this area, clearly, but it sometimes is hard. You can do it. So this just kind of illustrates it's hard to, if you're teaching about updos, but also in an infinity hairstyle, unless that's the same thing, and maybe Heather jumps in here. But it's hard to rank for two different things. It's all about congruency, one thing, or maybe two things, but they're very aligned. So I'm also trying to figure out where hair sticks come into play here. But like hair sticks, let's even think about it like this. Maybe hair sticks updo. And now it kind of, so like that's a good tag. See, it was predicted, so that would be a good tag to put in there. And that's what you want to do, and you stack those up and up and up. Let me illustrate this in exactly how I do videos daily or every week. And so we wanted to rank for this new camera that just came out, and so it's all aligned with this model number. So it's like A7R3 release date. There's the ranking. A7R video. There's the ranking, and good example is, see, I also put WPPI 2018 in here. Like it's not in the title. It's not about that. You can't, if you wanted to rank, which is the event that we recorded this video at, that Omar went to shoot this video at. It makes sense. You can't really rank for WPPI and the Sony camera, because the thesis of Video Ranking Academy is one keyword phrase, one video. And so Heather, do you have any thoughts on that? And then we could kind of keep talking, and I hope, and let me know in the Facebook comments if that's maybe helping with some insights, or if you have further questions in anybody watching in your niche, because this is a big deal. Like this is important for discovering a long tail keyword that is an opportunity, and then stacking the tags, which are like supplemental keywords, on top of that. Here's another example that we did for the Sigma lenses. And you'll, it kind of gives example, like, so we came up with the title, and we wanted the title to speak to humans. Sigma announced the first 9 ART lenses for Sony E-mount cameras. By the way, I kind of broke some VRA rules here because it wasn't a literal keyword. I just realized being a literal researched keyword would actually not communicate to viewers very well. But then the tags were things like Sigma Sony E-mount lenses. Where did I get those? So I would go Sigma Sony E-mount. Okay, that's true. I'll take that tag. Lenses. That's true. I'll do that one as well. Adapter. It's not about the adapter. I won't do that. E-mount. Yes. Sigma lens Sony E-mount. I'll take that one as well. Makes sense? So you do that whole, and you can see all these tags are long tail. Key. No one-word tags. And also no, like, I'm not going to try to rank for cameras. I'm not going to try to rank for lenses. It all is about this specific one thing. Heather?
Yeah. Renata said, thank you, Sean. And yes, the infinity bun, I didn't even know this. The infinity bun is one of the buns I'm showing. It's a long hair updo. So it's a figure 8 bun. The reason that she showed both was because one's vertical and one's horizontal. So this is really key, guys. Renata knows what her audience is searching for, if that is what they're searching for. If they're searching for how to do an infinity bun. Now, there's also the broader aspect of even doing, like Sean was showing, just long hair updos. And then in your video, you say one of the long hair updos is an infinity bun, right? So maybe they're not actually searching. That's another thing too, is sometimes we think they might be searching something that they're not actually searching. So I'm trying to think of an example, Sean, of what that would be, but you want to make sure that you're using the language that your audience is actually searching, not the end result. So sometimes we know so much in our niche that we use language that's inside of our niche versus thinking about the person that's searching outside of that. Does that make sense?
That's great points. And so even around infinity bun, you could go infinity bun in a sentence, right? Infinity bun tutorial. And so I hope that helps, you know, in infinity braid bun. And then these are all different. All of those things would then be relevant tags for you so long as they stack. But you still got to do what you got to do. It's a great video and it's working for you. But it does seem, and you understand this better, but it's like how to do an updo, but also with sticks and also infinity bun. So part of VRA is figuring out really how to weave all those things together. And actually, if you haven't downloaded the ultimate title guide, everybody that's watching this, it's in your membership area, but it's also inside of this file area inside of VRA. So if you go to the private Facebook group and you go to files, download this title guide, which is how to rate great titles that rank in search. And this goes through 7 different title formulas. Very helpful for thinking about different ways to structure your title and pull keywords in there. So I hope that helps as well. CJ asks, I have about 6 videos on my channel and I'm trying to read my audience retention. Any tips on reading it? Because I'm having a bit of trouble, like what viewers like and what they don't like. So the general key for reading your audience retention is pretty straightforward. And so number one, great job of getting your channel set up. You know, great header there. You know, a couple things, always think about the user experience. I'm not trying to, you know, split hairs here, but like, you know, for instance, this word is underneath this logo. I'm not actually at 100%, even at 100%, sharing is cut off, different things like that, but just an observation there. I like that it's new video every Thursday, speaks to that consistency. So the way you read audience retention though, is we can go to like any video here and we'll go to analytics and we'll go to audience retention. And then let's just grab, so you can see a couple things. The average audience retention on my channel is 355, average 34% viewed. That means only 3 minutes out of 10 minutes, right? On average across all the views on our channel are being watched. So maybe that encourages you, maybe that discourages you. But if you're, You know, at Think Media, we're not getting like full audience retention. When we look at our top viewed videos, some of our best videos are getting 23% audience retention. Keeping that in mind that this is like an hour-long video, so 14 minutes of watch time is amazing, and that really helps our channel. That speaks to having longer form content. That 23% of that's actually, so, and by the way, these are ranked in like how much YouTube loves them, like in the best to the least by the total watch time minutes. Remember, minutes matter most, and it doesn't matter how you get the minutes. If you only get a low watch time, but of a long video, it puts that video in second place because 341,000 minutes are watched on that video. You can see there's one metric YouTube cares about. How many total minutes are your videos being watched? So anyways, what I might look for is, this is probably obvious. I'm sure people just get bored, but you can see these little spikes. That's usually because someone clicks in maybe to try to get to the first tip or something. And then, you know, people are just getting bored. They're like, dude, this video is long, man. I got to go. And then typically I think I do Q&A. So once I finish, it starts probably dropping more dramatically because this is all Q&A and there's like less training. So beyond that, the main tips I can give you is, I've learned the most from vloggers. The one tip we learned was that whenever my face was not on camera, people would potentially drop off. Now, you still have to make a calculated choice that through video editing, or if you're screen sharing a live, you just might accept that fact. If I'm doing a longer webinar where I'm sharing my screen, kind of a training like that, it's not a viral cat video that's gonna have a lot of retention and everyone watches the whole thing and they're entertained by it. It's for people who are serious like you that are really trying to, like, you know, dive in and learn YouTube training. And keeping in mind too, that if it gets 10,000 views, but only a quarter of the people watch the whole thing, that's exciting because that's 2,500 people that watch the whole thing. I'm worried less about the bigger number. That kind of goes back to us talking about never assume everybody watches everything. We can kind of get into vanity metrics. Unfortunately, it's always about that small group. You're like, cool, my channel got 1,000 views. Yeah, probably got 100 meaningful views. Just the way it is, right? A lot of different things, maybe touched videos, but like meaningful. And the one other thing that we really learned was specifically for vloggers, Jeremy Johnston learned this. He would go through his videos, about 15-minute daily videos. And what he would look is he would look where people left. And here's what he would look for. He would go to where the drop off was, but then he would see stuff like it was him and his wife just kind of like in their bedroom with not very good lighting, recapping the day. And it was kind of boring. And he was like, man, that part doesn't get very much engagement. So they made a decision. We're not gonna recap the day in the boring, bad lit place anymore. He actually realized when he was on camera, it was a family vlog channel. It wasn't as popular as the wife and the kids. So he made a hard decision. He's like, I'm gonna be in the show less. It was a vlog, right? So those are the kind of insights you're looking for. Like maybe like whatever it is about the order, the structure of your videos, you get to a point in your video and you just look for trends. But typically that downward curve is normal because people think about your own behavior. I think about the same thing too. I could be watching the greatest content on YouTube, like entertaining, amazing drone footage, life-changing principles of some interview of some author that will probably change my whole life. And halfway in, I'm like, okay, I'm on to the next thing. So it's like the diminishing curve is normal for everybody.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
Awesome. So Jennifer says, so she's got our YouTube channel there. How do you gain channel authority? I've been doing all the steps you have been saying, and I still have the same views I was getting before. This is a great question. So we're going to plug in Jennifer's YouTube channel, but we had some questions about people who are not in the Facebook group yet. So if you are not inside of the VRA Facebook group, go ahead and leave that in the comments below and I will send you the link and get you in tonight so that you join in on thousands of creators and entrepreneurs who are doing exactly what we are doing here.
Awesome. So a couple things, great question, by the way, and let's, here's the channel. But let's stop just for a second. Let's talk about what channel authority is. So channel authority is, and we talk about this at VRA, but it's as you increase channel authority, you will increase in your ability to rank. Let's be honest. One of the hardest things to do is if you do start a channel from scratch, you don't have any channel authority. And that's because like people could throw up and people, this is one of the reasons. people create spam accounts, bot accounts. People create YouTube channels to upload illegal content. They try to monetize it. So if you create a brand new YouTube channel, Google's not like, oh, we trust you. We know you've been around. We know, you know what I mean? You don't have any channel authority when you start. What happens is over time, as your channel ages with consistent content, then Google increases your channel authority. And there's a couple things that influence that. Number one, age. So if you are in VRA and you haven't started posting yet, maybe you have an old YouTube channel and you're like, it's weird and I uploaded some weird stuff. It's not really on brand for my new stuff. We always recommend, if you have a YouTube channel you set up years ago, you should use it because that age does have a little bit of authority on it. Even if you make, and never delete your old videos if they got views, just make them unlisted or private. You could still curate your new experience, but you could still use your channel authority because of age. Secondly, consistency in two areas. Consistency in uploading videos, but also consistency of niche. YouTube has been explicitly clear with our friends that are at YouTube and different things, is that they're trying to categorize your channel. That's why in VRA, we talk about the importance of focus and having a niche. That's why in the first module, when I talk about, and I give a ranking to like video influencers is like a 5 out of 5 focused channel, because we set out with what it is. It's only about tips for YouTube. It's really not about anything else. It's like completely dead set on brand. Even Think Media goes in a couple different directions. Here's the thing. If your channel does not have a one sole focus or a pretty clear focus, Google's like, well, what are you about, right? So if you have a food channel and all you do is food, and let's take it a level deeper. If you have like a Mexican food channel, eventually the channel authority is like, okay, this channel's been around. It's been consistent with the content, not just in frequency, but also in specificity of what kind of content it is. Weekly Mexican food recipe, boom. And you do that over years, then your channel authority goes up and Google is categorizing you. And you want that. You want to have Google kind of be like, this channel is all about network marketing, or this channel is all about real estate, or this channel is all about these things. And then the last piece is also channel authority increases as you get views, engagement, likes, and comments, things like that, which that's probably why you're saying, well, Sean, that's the trouble. So if I've done the first two pieces, how do I get those first few views and build that authority? We use a term in VRA. This is great for Centernet Entertainment as well as other everybody here. Is you got to generate when you're just starting out. What does generate mean? We talk about one of the VRA members named Miguel, who's doing great on his music channel. When he was posting his first videos, he put out a video and he would call his mom, because we told him to do this, as we're telling you. He'd call his mom, he'd call his sister, he'd have his wife with her YouTube channel, Abs Attacks. He would call some people that he works with at work that have YouTube channels, or say he'll buy them coffee if they start a YouTube channel, and say, can you go watch my video? Also, can you let the entire thing play? I need the watch time minutes. And can you click the like button and leave a comment? Why? Because he's generating engagement. He's wanting to send signals when there are no signals to send. Now, there's a lot of other things you could do in ranking. If you've watched, ranking module and Video Ranking Academy 101, 201, 301, that goes deeper into this. But those are the first things that I'd want you to be doing. Even so much to say that it would be possible, I think, for like, if I look at even this Teespring review, that if you're generating this, let me ask you a question. Could you get 5 likes on this? Of course you could. Now, it might take work, and I'm not talking about spamming your friends or whatever, but could you get this to 5 likes? Look, we just got to 2, off 1 because you're part of VRA. In fact, everybody else, we could probably boost that up. You know what I mean? And, I actually know about Teespring, so love Teespring, right? You're generating a comment right now. These are some of the things that are generating. I just did that. You want to kind of do some of those things as you're getting your channel. We also call it priming. You're priming the videos, you're priming the posts. And then the last part is you do want to have a breakout video. We've learned that there is something about a breakout video that really helps your channel grow in authority. The best way to get a breakout video is to find a topic, a title, a keyword that has low competition, but potentially high search volume. How to do that in your niche. And to be honest, that we could also maybe talk about your niche here might be a little bit hard for Google to categorize, which could be hurting your channel authority, because it seems like it's a variety channel, but you do reviews, unboxing, travel, taste tests. I'm not really sure what the cohesive theme is, what the focus of the channel is. I see that it's, this internet entertainment, but I don't. And then I see there's Oreo videos, but then it's Teespring, but then it's, and so you can do that. But I think this is also reinforcing the point I've been trying to make. A lot of food reviews, but then like funny outtakes, and so you want to be thinking same thing. So even Google might be as confused as I am, right? So how can you bring a cohesive focus? What we all want for all of our YouTube channels is we want a target audience. Who's your target audience? Like, what about your target audience would be interested not just in Pokégon State Park campground? So that's maybe people that are into Pokemon Go, but also want to see a review of non-dairy Oreo ice cream. So if you go the review route with ranking videos, you can get some traction. I'm actually not saying if you kept doing what you're doing, you kept doing it in VRA and you learn this, but if you want to like really 10x things and make it work, then you want that clear focus. When it comes to breakout videos, just the last thing to kind of speak there, I think Heather, she went through VRA and maybe 2 years ago now, but even luckily, and this doesn't happen for everybody, definitely, but I think her first, maybe it wasn't her first video, but this homeschool, let me actually go date oldest.
I think it was. I think it was actually one of the first ones that I did.
But one of your first videos got 24,000 views.
Yeah.
And part of that, it's actually hard to predict. We don't even know why that happened actually, but it was a breakout video for sure. Cause that's the kind of views or whatever that you would want to get. So let me give you a couple examples in my niche.
It was the public school versus homeschool. That one was the one that was like one of the first ones that got like 96,000 views or something.
And it's old, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's interesting too, right, is there's those long tail homeschool versus public school, homeschooling versus public school, dominating a few different hashtags, ranking number one. So this is what's interesting is actually all you need is one video like that to like revolutionize your YouTube channel. It like makes you a player. Easier said than done. Let me give you a couple examples, and I want you to pull out a journal right now, everybody. Pull out a journal, pull out something to write with, or if you're watching this on your phone, you can't really shut it down. Open up a notepad. But I want you to brainstorm about things. What can breakout videos be? Trending topics, new topics in your industry, things nobody else has covered yet. So when I share these examples, the only reason I share these examples is because they're just what I know. I don't know about updos and infinity buns. I also don't know about Breyer's ice cream or Oreos or Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, but you do. So that's what we're so pumped about. Like, you are passionate about your topic, or else you wouldn't be doing your topic. You're knowledgeable at your topic. You don't have to be an expert about it. If you geek out on it, it's like the stuff I'm actually not even a media expert. Maybe by now, by hours put in, but like, I didn't go to film school. Nobody ever came and knighted me and said like, I just read blogs and watch YouTube videos and have done it for a while. So I've learned stuff. So I saw things in our space like Periscope versus Meerkat. Now, actually, ironically, both of these platforms are kind of like dead now. But back when we were starting Video Influencers, we just crossed 250,000 subscribers, well under 10,000. We were just starting. So this is March 2015. Periscope was a live streaming app. Meerkat came first. I had started dabbling with Meerkat. And then on the Friday that Periscope was announced as a competitor, I thought people are going to be saying Meerkat versus Periscope. Just like actually Heather saw homeschool versus public school. Now that was a much older question. And so, it doesn't have to necessarily be a new trend, but I saw a new trend. So on a Friday, I was like, I had a full-time job. I had, so thus I was working 5 days a week. I had Saturdays off. Remember at the top of the call, outwork your competition. Find the time to put in the hustle to claim some digital real estate, to blow up your brand, to do some things, right? So I did, all I did was read a bunch of blogs. I was like, okay, what are the blogs saying about Periscope? Got educated quickly on Saturday morning, shot the video, and it ranked. It still ranks, but the key being it was early on a breakout video for us. And if we go to like our statistics, you know, this is how subscribers are driven. This is how shares happen, views happen. And there's this upward curve of growth, clearly more in the early stages and then later. Let me give you another example. Canon. Now, this one was a limited time one because now everybody's actually put their video out about it. But I did a live stream about a brand new Canon camera before anybody else did anything about it on YouTube. So I was just first, and it blew up. Again, sure, there's the advantage of Think Media is bigger and all that kind of stuff, but that's I would just call that an excuse. Like if don't let that excuse stop you. You got to go for these video ideas. You got to find them, look for them, trends, topics, uncovered topics in your niche, own those. And I knew this would be buzzy because, again, it's just my niche. I was like, everyone's talking about it. And everyone was talking about it on blogs and forums. Nobody was talking about it on YouTube yet. So I just did a 10-minute live stream. And in that, just like we're talking to you right now, I was able to just share my screen and just read off the blogs that I got the information from. So I actually turned a Canon Rumors blog post into a video, did it according to VRA, and it was a breakout video. So that'd be the last thing I say. But then we went a little long on that too. Who am I kidding? Because we always go long on questions, but also because I wanted to go a little bit deeper. And I feel like that is the key to channel authority, is going for a breakout video. So be searching. So that's the question to write down. What are some of the topics, trends, or uncovered things? Homeschool versus public school. A good video had not really been made about that. Heather is, again, not a homeschool expert. No one ever knighted her and said, you have permission now to start a homeschool channel, but she's been doing it. She's passionate about it. Her friends ask her about it. So she shared what she's learned. And I also want to speak to the curse of knowledge. One time she came over here, and what the curse of knowledge is sometimes you devalue your own knowledge that's already in your head. The stuff that you don't need to do research for, that you already know, the kind of stuff that we were walking in our neighborhood on a work day. Benji was in town. And I just said, like, what are the 5 biggest mistakes people make with homeschool? And Heather was like, oh, I'll tell you right now. She was ready to make a video with no research, no studying. She was like ready to tell me the 5 mistakes because she's made the 5 mistakes. She knew them right off the top of her head. I was like, that's a video. Like, you could get that done and that could potentially rank. What is that for you? What is that in your topic? And a big opportunity is it doesn't have to also be the fancy things. Sometimes what's needed in your niche is just a really good, really clear explanation of a beginner topic. Homeschool versus public school is kind of 101. That's someone who's like not, should I keep my kids in public school or should I homeschool them? I mean, that's not the deep things of homeschool. It's a 101 thing. But Heather's like, I've got some content to just share about that. Heather, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think the part where you said the curse of knowledge, sometimes too, I use my own friends and family a lot in trying to get content because I am in my head and I don't think. I'll sit down when it's time to plan and I'll think, I don't have anything to do. I don't have any videos to make. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And then I just started thinking about what are the questions that people have commonly asked me. You know, that's actually how Sean got into Think Media. He was in a lot of different things. And when he finally realized that the question that everyone was asking him was really about cameras and about how to do YouTube, that's when he really narrowed it down. And that was the only thing he talked about on YouTube. Now, this is the thing, guys, that homeschool is the only thing I talk about on YouTube, but clearly, I mean, I work full time on this team. I'm an entrepreneur. We're in ministry. Like, we have big lives, but the only thing we talk about on YouTube is one thing. So I know we're going long on questions, but these are so good. And keep posting them in the comments because we'll be typing in answers also if we don't get to all of your questions on this one. But let us know how you're doing in the comments, guys. Are you liking this stuff? 1 to 10? What are you thinking? Let us know.
Yes, rapid fire. We'll do our best. JS, I see many people in VRA use either or both TubeBuddy and vidIQ. My question is, which would you recommend, as I find both can be useful in their own way? Personally, I use vidIQ day in and day out. I've used TubeBuddy. I like different things that it has. They overlap in so many different features now that I don't even know the differences a lot of times. I think I really like TubeBuddy's canned responses for comments. I think that's kind of cool. But the reason I use vidIQ is not just that sidebar. Which one do I like best? vidIQ. And the reason I like it is not just for the sidebar, though. I like it for the web tools. So I'll show you what I mean. And I don't know how to get to vidIQ here. There we go. So all this stuff is great. Couple of just basics. Everybody, if you have not installed vidIQ, go to vidIQ.com. And if you actually want, you can go to vidIQ.com/think, and that's only if you would want to get a paid plan, and you could get it free for 30 days. I think you're fine if you don't use that. If you wanted to, you can use Pro, and you get a couple things like you get the keyword research tool. You get a couple you could see on this page here, but that's vidIQ.com/think. But here's what I want you to do. No matter what, if you have not signed up yet, get the basic and then install vidIQ Vision. And it's a Google Chrome extension. So it's called vidIQ Vision for YouTube. When you install that, that's how you get all this data. Some of the things that you want to do, you always want this SEO score to be green. And this will help you do it. If your SEO scores are not green, 100 out of 100 is best. Green is the goal. That's basic right there. And so that speaks to ranking. Obviously, the blue numbers show us ranking. You get a lot of other predictions here. What's cool is that all these windows are collapsible too. You can do different things. But one of my favorite things about vidIQ is actually this web-based dashboard. So you go to the app.vidIQ. I'm logged in. Let me go to the right channel here. And I could see different things, including like times of day. It recommends what's best time of day to post. We don't necessarily always do that, but it does give you, letting you know when your audience is on. And one of my favorite things is I actually like looking at competitors. And this is something that only the one of the paid versions get. And the reason this is nice is, again, these are my competitors, but also a lot of friends. Like we all just hung out at Social Media Marketing World this past week. But here's what I like about this is I actually like to see how many videos are they posting a week. Like vidIQ themselves are posting, or in the last 30 days, 20 videos. So sometimes I'm like, okay, how can I measure, are they getting more views per video? How many videos are they posting? Like, what are their actions and behaviors? Are they up? Are they down? And why? That helps me. And then just a lot of the different analytics. So we don't want to go too deep into that right now, but in answer to your question, I'd say vidIQ. But I think both are great. Tommy, what are your thoughts on uploading videos to both Facebook and YouTube? If I make a vlog to promote my music, should I upload it natively to Facebook or try to get people to watch on YouTube? More and more and more, it's always been true that Facebook never wants you to send traffic away from Facebook. The way they pay the bills is advertising, and they can't advertise to people who are not on their platform. So if you send a link to your website, doesn't matter where, your website, YouTube, if you send people off platform, they can't make money anymore. So they reduce the reach if you send people away from the platform, and they give you more reach if you keep people on the platform. I think that uploading videos in both places is a great idea. What some people worry about is cannibalizing their audience, that if I upload it on Facebook, people will never watch it on YouTube. That could be true if you condition people and they're like, well, why ever go to YouTube? I like Facebook better. But what we've learned is that a lot of people don't even go to multiple platforms. Everyone usually has, not everyone, but a lot of people have their favorite platform. Some people spend time on Facebook predominantly. So if you wanted to reach those people with your message, if you want to get your music in front of somebody, if you want to get your product in front of somebody, the best way to reach Facebook users is on Facebook with native videos. The best way to reach YouTube users, people who like to watch YouTube content, is on YouTube with native YouTube content. And that's generally best. The last piece is that if you're trying to upload as much organic native videos to Facebook, like let's hopefully say 9 out of 10 times, that may be every 10th time that you're like, hey, by the way, we have a YouTube channel. And those posts will do better because you're not constantly sending people off of channel. Off of Facebook. One of the biggest mistakes we see most people make, we see this all day, every day, because Heather and I consult, we work with different people, or we just observe different people's social media channels, is they just use their Facebook page as a place to constantly post their like new blog posts, their new videos, and their new stuff, and they're getting zero engagement. And that's also conditioning Facebook to be like, yeah, we're not a cork board for you to just post about other places on the web. We're our own platform, and we want you to play according to our platform. I hope that makes sense. That is the mindset needed to win on almost any platform. What are the rules, expectations? What does Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, want? What does Susan Wojcicki of YouTube want? They have there to like learn what they want and do what they want and play by their rules, and you'll win in their world. And there you go. Jay, is it wise to promote my website in videos when the main purpose of my site is to direct people towards my channel and to get people to sign up on my email list? What are your thoughts? Based on your question, I don't think that's wise, because if the purpose of your website is to get people to your YouTube channel, then that is just a weird workaround. Like, so they go to your website and they're like, all right, cool. And they come back to your YouTube channel. So it sounds like you can cut that out, but you say it's also to get people to sign up for your email list. In that case, I do think that's a good idea. You should be sending from people directly from YouTube straight to a landing page. So the best execution there. What's funny is we are the worst at websites in Team Cannell. We don't, and partly because we just don't care about websites. We probably should, but we don't. So it is what it is. So like what we would normally do is shoot a video and grow right on YouTube. But then at the end, we would say, download something free. This, in my opinion, is the best way to grow your email list, is a YouTube video, add content, teach, help people, entertain, and then give a relevant reason to sign up and potentially join your email list. So this actually doesn't go to a quote unquote website. It goes to a landing page. We created this landing page with Megaphone, which I don't recommend. They don't update it anymore, but it's an old platform. The easiest way to create beautiful marketing pages. Another way you could do something like this is something like Lead Pages. And you also, clearly this is not the website, or maybe it is. That's weird. .net, leadpages.net. So, just different landing pages. And so that's what we've done more. So what's funny is we've grown our email list huge. We have lots of websites in a way. We own hundreds of URLs. We send a lot of URLs to different landing pages. So we're doing things online, but we're doing it very tactically and strategically. And we haven't focused too much on building out our exact site. The reason I also think that's better is a lot of times when you go to a site, it's confusing. There's lots of things that are happening there. So if you send somebody from a YouTube video, so if I'm like, go to the site and get your free download. Well, if you land here, you're not even seeing anything. You scroll a little bit and then you do see this, but this is also not even what I was talking about. That's not the free gear guide. So that's something different. And then you might click around, or you're already confused and you're not going to make it on, if they're like 7 layers deep. So that's why a landing page is also in internet marketing called a squeeze page, because it's about one thing. Your video is like, if it's all about fitness and like weight loss, download the free shopping list and what we do these days is we usually buy a URL and then we use that URL to send people to a certain place. We did it today. We did this exact thing we're talking about today. We bought a URL called learnvideo.live and it redirects. See how it redirected? So we just went and go learnvideo.live and it goes to a replay of one of our master classes and webinars. I think if you go to even I did this years ago, getnoticedbook.net, when I put a little ebook together to start growing my email list. Boom. GetNoticedBook.net redirects to here. Free copy, how to go from total obscurity to becoming a trusted authority using social media. Yes, I want the book. Someone enters their name and email. It's a squeeze page. There's only one thing to do. So at the end, and there is YouTube videos on my Sean Cannell channel where I'm like, hey, if you want to download my book, go to getnoticedbook.com, or there's a link in the description below. And the other reason we like buying custom URLs that direct to something to grow your email list is if you ever do live streams, which we encourage you to do, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, you can say it. Not only can you post it, but it's much easier to say. It would be hard to say, go grab the Get Noticed book at, just type in 8hpmzbuw.meg. You know what I mean? Like, it's impossible. So we just redirect it. And then verbally, just go to getnoticedbook.net and you could grab the free ebook while I teach you how to use social media to grow your brand and reach more people. If all that sounded complex and overwhelming, here's the action item. Get one done. Most of us don't need, when we're just starting, we don't need 10 email opt-ins. You only need one. You just need one good one. So, and once you get one going, again, one example is for video influencers. We did one for 2 years, and every single video, at the end of every video, we just gave the same call to action, 2 years worth of videos, all went to the same free guide. And we also, one way you can do it too is just to redirect. So we did videoinfluencers.net / I don't remember, 19 tips.
19 tips. Yeah.
Boom.
Hey, we remember it.
So that was it's a WordPress site, and we used a plugin called Redirect or something like that. So then when I was able to create, so videoinfluencers.net is a WordPress site that has not been updated in 2 years. Speaking of how bad we are at websites, / though 19 tips redirects you actually to Megaphone, a place to download this free guide. And like hundreds of YouTube videos now are like free value. Hey, by the way, if you want to grab that guide and call to action, and that's how we grow our email list.
So I just want to tack on to the end of that, guys. This is like advanced. This is like 401 of what Sean's going through. Main objective, get your videos out, and then be thinking about ways that you can start incorporating ways to start building your other platforms through YouTube. So there was a question that came in like, should I post on Facebook? Should I post on YouTube? I want to build 2 different audiences. Do I do that? Do I send them to my website? First, start with just getting videos done. So a lot of times we see people that we're consulting and they're like, I don't really know, I don't really know what to do now. I'm not really getting any traction. And we look and we're like, well, you're 4 videos in. How do you know? Like, that's like buying a deli and then just ordering like one type of meat and then being like, it doesn't work. I can't do it. It doesn't work. So just start getting videos done and then start implementing these higher end practices in growing your audience and influence off of YouTube. So just wanted to put that on there for you guys.
Love that. Lloyd asks, would it be self-defeating to combine 2 keyword phrases in one video tile? Lloyd, tell us the keyword phrases, because we can't say without knowing them, but it'll be fun to workshop it. So we'll come back to you. Abraham, my wife, Deborah, and I started a family vlog channel at the beginning of the year, and we were excited about the progress. We have almost 50 subs. Congrats. Good job. I see 2 main pain points with our channel. Number 1, finding time to edit. Here's the channel. Finding time to edit. I work a full-time job plus our family of 8. Congrats. Hands full. Plus life. It's easy to capture video. Takes much longer to edit and then apply all the VRA principles. We started our channel with just filming our lives and fun stuff as a family, but then it's hard to apply VRA principles. We need to be more strategic about planning our videos ahead of time. So a couple things. Definitely you're learning, and what's one thing I've heard from people a lot once they start VRA or they start video is they go, man, I've got so much more respect now for this person I watch or that person I watch, because my gosh, a lot goes into creating videos. So a couple things that's encouraging about editing. Number 1, it's going to be super painful up front. It just is. It's hard to learn. Editing it's brutal, but you will get better and you will get faster over time. And so I want to encourage you now as I look at your channel, and it looks like you mentioned too, you had about 20 videos up, or not even, you've got 8, you have 20 videos. So at 100 videos, you're going to feel a lot better, like at editing. And also at 100 videos, you'll be more comfortable with the whole process. Even VRA, it'll all speed up. The other thing is, as a vlogger in particular, you're also going to learn more and more about not overshooting, about like structuring your day more. You're going to learn a lot of things that you could not learn without just doing it a lot. To where I remember when I used to shoot even B-roll of like events, I would shoot like 10 SD cards worth. And I was like, I have all this footage to go through. And now I'm like, I just need that shot, this shot, that shot, and I'm done. I got the shots. You know what I mean? And like, it just goes a little bit faster because I've learned it, and there's no way to impart that even over this conversation. Just keep doing it a lot. Now, as far as VRA pertaining to a vlog channel, a couple things that I would do is I would not hold yourself to just vlogging, which it seems like you're doing that already. So like if you do like a try not to laugh challenge, it looks like this is not like a daily vlog, but it's a specific type of a thing. I think that's smart. You're jumping on a challenge. You're jumping on something. If you could be first, to be honest, I mean, like Harlem Shake, we're going to take it back there. Harlem Shake, I was working at a church at the time, and our youth group did it, and our normal, or the youth ministry is called Dedicated. And normally this channel, this Dedicated youth channel, would not get 7,000 views, but we got 7,000 views because we jumped on a Harlem Shake for our youth group or whatever, right? Kind of cool. Where am I? I'm right there in the blue right there. Are we really like that? There's the Sean Harlem Shake. We didn't expect it to get here. There's a frog. In fact, the frog person is Kyle Anderson, who's also on our team. And the world is really weird. So jumping on, like, not just daily vlogs. It's hard to rank. A daily vlog is typically not the answer for a particular question, but comedy covers. If you can do, like, you guys, you know, Sam and Nia is a good example. They got their vlog channel blew up because they did a Frozen cover of the two parents singing, the kids singing in the back. They sang a Frozen song in their minivan. That blew up. It put them on the map. So tactical, strategic, creative videos. As far as ranking goes, Sonia and I, my wife, we vlogged for a while, and we would do stuff like this because I was always thinking of VRA no matter what. So we did Las Vegas horseback riding, and it's been a while, but this video still ranks a bit. And what I like to say for vloggers, it's 14 now, but it did pretty well. And if we look at even the statistics, I mean, 30 subscribers driven. So think about that. One video, you just hit 50 subscribers. This could almost double your channel if you do the right video. And those subscribers, and what's interesting too, is they've even come in not just when it started, but look, they've come in years later. That's VRA, even on a small level, right? Check out the stats. That initial growth, but you have a video that's working for you. It came out in like 2012, but yet mid 2016, a new subscriber, an asset you built years ago, can produce for you. And keeping in mind too, when someone's looking for Las Vegas horseback riding, they just want to check out the tour thing we went on. They're actually not looking for a vlogger to subscribe to. So if you get 1,500 views, yeah, you might only get 30 subscribers that are like, man, these guys are kind of entertaining. I think I'll subscribe to that. So it's kind of like growing a vlog channel is hard. So I want to just, you know, because think about what you're selling. You are saying, hey, can we be part of your entertainment schedule in your life to total strangers? That's not impossible, but that's like the value proposition that you are going for in growing a vlog channel. So that's how I would do it. Events, places, and then what you want to do when you do that is make sure to lead with it. So I open up the video on the horse, because if we didn't actually get to the horse part until like 10 minutes in, and actually, by the way, it's only a 4-minute video, then people might not feel like they're actually going to get to see this. So whatever that goes into the hook of VRA, whatever you promise in the title, make sure you deliver in the video, but also deliver it right up front, even if it doesn't come till later.
Mm-hmm. One other thing I want to add to that is you have a distinction in your family. You have tons of children, which is amazing, but that's a distinction. People are curious about that. How do you go grocery shopping? How do you do bedrooms? How do you, so So even though you're a vlog channel, also remember that you have a distinction in your family. We have a friend who Alejandro Reyes, they have That Reyes Family, Sean, that's what their name of their vlog is. Yeah. And you know, they sniper in to their culture. That is a big part of their vlog. And so I just recommend like really thinking about what is your asset. You know, if you are the talent, what is your talent asset that you're bringing to it? Like Sean said, you're asking people to actually put you into their schedule. So maybe meet them halfway. Maybe there's something curious, they have a curiosity around something, and then you expose them more to the behind the scenes of the vlog style life. Another thing that we see vloggers do, like Sean said with the horseback riding, is they'll record their entire day, which can be entertaining, but at the same time, in any story, there's always a beginning, a middle, an end, right? In any movie that you watch, you're not learning everything about that same character. You're learning exactly what you need to know to make a point in the story. So really start thinking through your vlogs. I was watching a couple of them and they're great, but really start to think about what is the storyline that I'm presenting in my vlogs.
Great tips. Lloyd, if you're still around, hit us with those keywords. Christy, my question is branding. I really don't know how to brand as a daily vlogger. Great, let's talk about it. How do I find my niche? Let's open up your channel. Heather, if you also want to open up the channel. And so Love Jar Vlogs, okay. How do I find my niche? I've thought about starting a second channel with sit down type of videos. But when I mention it to our viewers, they say they like variety and that I should do these on the vlog channel. I agree. I don't think you should start a second channel. I think you could experiment with that kind of content on the same channel. We have a large family, 7 kids. I homeschool and I'm an author. We live in an old hospital. What'd you write your book about? Doctors that I'm restoring. And how does that become a brand? How do I use affiliate linking with vlogging? Does that make sense? Okay. So let's see here. Couple things. You've been doing this for a while, so great job. Number one. Number two, and I realize you're asking this, but Love Jar Vlogs doesn't specify a niche, and that's what you're asking about is a niche. So families that have done this, you and different vloggers, you think about here's what things you could position yourself as. Your culture, right? And so we mentioned that Reyes family. And what's interesting about them is with modest numbers and very modest, because they were Hispanic American vloggers with 2 daughters, they actually, they got to 30,000 subscribers, maybe 35,000, but they actually earned over 6 figures in brand deals. That might sound outrageous, but that's kind of the world we're living in. Why? Because people actually really wanted to reach the demographic they were reaching, but they were owning that. And by the way, there wasn't a lot to own in that. They are that, like they are Hispanic. So like that's their niche though. So, you know, you want to amplify what that is though. I don't see your family in your banner here. Here's a great example. And Heather just used it for the last channel, but there's a show called 19 Kids and Counting. My wife, Sonia, loves that channel, but that show is very niched down. Because number one, they hit this high number of kids, but that is the show. That's the niche. It's like, that's insane. There's so many. I think having, you know, even 8 kids, then other distinctions. When you layer on the other things about your family that makes you unique, and you mentioned a few unique things, other things I like to think about is faith. And so if you are bold about that, some people are afraid to put that out there. When you're bold about that, it lets people resonate with you. And so I think Sam and Nia are kind of an example. Here's some of the examples they did with branding. Is all they did was kind of show like a Brady Bunch vibe here, but they threw a Bible verse up on their thing. And on their about page, I think they say, you know, a small family of 5 pointing to a big God and vlogging it. It's actually a great line because again, if you don't share their same faith or religious beliefs, you might be like, I'm never going to watch that channel at all, which is good. Because on the flip side of the coin, some people are like, I do want to connect with the family that I can maybe align with or with values. So not just faith, worldview, vegan lifestyle, vegetarian, you know, Orange County housewives a life of maybe luxury and excess, or a life of minimalism and doing things on a budget, things like that. Both are niches. Plant your flag, pick your positioning and own it. And what ends up happening is the reason people don't stand out on YouTube and break through is typically because if you try to reach everybody, you end up reaching nobody. And it's much better to be a meaningful specific than a wandering generality. So it's a great question. And I know that's why you're asking. So now when I look at your channel, it's hard to get much clarity. We know it's Love Jar. In fact, almost no clarity. If we're just honest, we see pictures of you, Love Jar vlogs. If I landed here, I don't see necessarily a value proposition or anything giving me direction. Let's check out my friend Tim Schmoyer on his vlogs. If you ever watch me type, you might be like, man, I don't even know how Sean is able to take care of himself as an adult, let alone, I'm trying to get kind of close. Okay, Schmovies. So he, like, some good stuff here. Schmovies, becoming a family team. They've got the kids up there. They got the names pointing to them. New video every weekday. Check out the About page. Join our family vlogs, and let's explore how a big family can grow together as a family team. So it's kind of just, he has sort of like, and I've talked to him, he's a good friend. He has a vision. When he got this family team idea, he kind of was like, I want to build a team. We are building a team, and we're going to let people see that. But we also want to coach people, like, or rather the people who are watching us are also trying to figure out how to build a team too, in the midst of the chaos of all this, of having, they have 7 kids. So Heather, I think, could have a few other distinctions, but I think all of those for vlogging are things to consider for sure.
Yeah, like Sean said before, you know, applying VRA to vlogging is going to be a challenge, but it's not, it is a challenge, but like take it in stride. If you are thinking about becoming a vlogger, one, that is a new thing anyways. So even though to us, that makes sense, like, oh, you're a vlogger, that's cool. If I told my mom that you're a vlogger, that term means nothing yet. And so even though vlogging seems like it's saturated and that there's a lot of people out there, like Sean is saying, you have to decide who you are. We take a lot of what we do from the way we've already been conditioned through network television. So like he said, you have to figure out exactly where you are and what you're doing. So you already do have distinctions. A couple things would make huge differences. You said that you were homeschooled. Like you actually said in your thing when you asked your question about how to be more branded, that's what you do. Another thing too is thumbnails do matter. So really making sure that the thumbnails that you're using are something that people are going to want to click on. It is like when you're on Netflix and you're looking through a show or you're looking through the guide, you see all the pretty different, what are those called, covers? You have to remember how people are conditioned to take in media already. And so we want to make sure that you're using those same tactics inside of your vlog. But I think you can do this. You definitely have. I was watching a couple of your videos, super cute kids. And I think you can definitely go far with your vlog.
Yeah. And the last thing that I would recommend, and also to share this with everyone else, is you mentioned these sit down type videos. Keep in mind, and I think those should go on your own channel, and those sit down, this is what I think vloggers need. And this is what we all need for YouTube to grow, is we need hooks in the ocean, not the hook at the beginning of a video. The more hook videos that are ranked are the more pathways for people to discover you. So growing on YouTube can be a slow growth. You put out one video and it gets, 10 views a week. Well, that's slow. But if you put out 100 videos that all get 10 videos a week, you start getting this crazy momentum. And a lot of vlogs, though, sometimes are not even really rankable, but those talking head videos would be. So if you started your own show, if you will, on your same channel, maybe you just say, we vlog 5 days a week, but on Saturdays, I share tips about being a writer, or maybe something that's more on brand for your show, more on with the vlogs, like family tips. And that stacks on top, because how do you balance 7 kids? I see one video, they're learning how to save money. Maybe these different parenting topics or life topics. And here's the key though, is I think we can get in a rut where you might be like, oh, that would mess it up. What if my current subscribers, what do we think about? You need to be in a place where you have, you still have a willingness to do radical experimentation. You don't have a lot at stake right now. It gets harder, as you grow, but you always want to be willing to experiment. And remember this, your YouTube channel is a TV network. Your videos are the shows. So a lot of people love AMC because they like to watch The Walking Dead, but they never watch Comic Book Men. I've actually never watched Comic Book Men. I collected comics, but I never have watched it. I've finished The Walking Dead and it's like coming up next and I've never watched it, but I still like AMC and I still DVR, you know what I mean? So your vlogs, and you can clarify that 3 days a week, maybe you vlog or whatever, but then you have other shows. Your kids could have a show. You could have a show on the network. And as you condition your audience, and here's the thing, if you mentioned you did survey your audience, which is good, but don't ever let like their opinions shape your vision completely. Let them influence your vision, but you got to own your own vision. You got to have a vision for your channel, an idea of where you want to go, and a willingness to take their feedback, but still make your own decisions. Experiment, start a kids show. And here's how you can look at these other shows, these experimental videos. They're like pilots. And so we're using like traditional media illustrations. People would put whole pilots together of TV shows, maybe even multiple episodes, and they'd get actors, they'd get lighting, they'd get funding, they'd shoot the video. And guess what? They'd play it. And if it failed, they'd cancel it. It never even became a show. So give yourself permission, because what those videos could be is they could be very VRA'd around Video Ranking Academy strategy, around topics that are on brand. And then at the end of your video, you're like, hey, what's up? In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to save money as a family. And then at the end, you're like, by the way, we're vlogging 5 days a week. And every Saturday, we're posting videos like this. So subscribe if you're interested in that kind of a thing. And you can educate your audience about what's happening. You have total creative freedom as a YouTube creator. And so definitely try some of those strategies.
Awesome. So Karin, Sean is asking the next question about he has influence on Snapchat and Instagram. He's sending people away to go to YouTube and he's not getting a lot of traction. So he's kind of established more in other platforms. How does he bring people over to YouTube? What does he do to do that and make that happen?
So a couple different things. Number one is don't try to do it too much. We probably fall into this category, meaning like I should use Instagram stories more. I rarely do. When I do, I send people away. The reason that's bad is it's like, yo, I haven't heard from you. And the first time I heard from you, you're asking me to go somewhere else. It'd be like going into a restaurant, your friends are sitting down eating at a table and you're like, hey, what's up guys? I realize you're in the middle of your meal, but hey, can you come out here really quick? They're like, dude, I'm trying to finish my food. They're on the platform. They're wanting to engage on the platform. So here's my point. Do what you're doing, value, entertainment, whatever you're doing on the platform, like 6 days a week. 7th day, hey, there's something on YouTube. What is on YouTube? Only give calls to action away to stuff that's really good. This is something I'm applying personally now. In the past, I used to like Instagram, almost every new video, hey, go watch it. A new video comes out, I'd want to put a story. Snapchat actually died for us. I stopped using Snapchat when they changed things and my views literally dropped 95%. No joke, 95%, maybe 97%. Just got destroyed. So I was like, all right, Snapchat's over. But I was giving call to action on Snapchat. I was probably giving him too much. So something irresistible. So even if you're posting multiple videos, you don't have to always send people to them. You want to use it wisely. But when you're like, dude, this new video, and then give a reason, right? In this new video, I mean, again, I don't have time to go into it here on Snap, guys, but there's this new video out right now where I break down these 7 things. Number 6, doubled my income. Like, use marketing, use like persuasion, seed it a little bit, get like, create some interest. They could send them over there. Another thing is to consider doing a giveaway. Hey guys, I don't know. Again, you mentioned kind of like networking or whatever it was, but like, can you give away a book? Can you give away a book of somebody else in your niche? Like we really like Gary Vaynerchuk's been a big influence on my life. And so recently we did a Facebook Live where we said we're giving away a couple books. And what we did was when we picked the winners, we just sent them the Amazon book. So it's $18 or whatever for the book. We found the winner, put the order on Amazon, send it directly to them. But that's an incentive. Hey guys, new video out now. And by the way, I'm giving a book away to anybody who leaves a comment in the first 24 hours. Now, maybe that's only 5 or 10 people, or maybe that's 100 people for you, but like, do it anyways. You know, figure that out, because then you're conditioning people. And once they finally get there, they might be like, oh, this is kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, so you want to incentivize and think about promoting in creative ways, reasons. And so that's a big thing. They take a step back for everything that we do in VRA. It is not enough online to do what maybe we've seen other people do. We watch YouTubers and they're like, so, hey guys, hit the subscribe. So hit the like button, hit the this, hit the that. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is not giving people a reason to do it, but B, a good reason to do it. So it's not just smash the subscribe button, guys, smash it up, man. Hit that subscribe button. Like, okay, like, so you can get more subscribers. It's kind of selfish, or why, you know, but it's, hey guys. And by the way, if you want to be notified every week when we put out new videos with similar valuable content, like what you just learned, then consider hitting the subscribe button. That's just a reason. What's in it for them? What is in it for your audience? Hey guys, you know, smash that like button. If you appreciated this video and you got value out of it, it'd mean a lot to me if you hit that like button. It's not just smash it, but it's like, hey, I just helped you out. Do you mind helping us out? Totally optional. And go watch this new video, because in it, you're going to learn. In it, you're going to get. In it, you're going to, you know, what is in it for your audience? Always be speaking to them on their terms, in their shoes, pretending you're on the other side of the phone, getting that same, probably is a phone or desktop, getting that same call to action and being like, I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. And everyone's shouting the same thing. Take it down a notch and give very good reasons for people to go check your stuff out. Fred, I have over 200 videos on my channel, and I wish I had VRA back in the day. How would you recommend I prioritize between creating fresh content with what I've learned and re-optimizing videos in the past? I found it exciting, but a bit overwhelming as well. So what I like to say, and this is a great question, it gives us a couple action items for anybody that's like been around for a while, is I always like to say, go into your analytics. This is sort of related to your question, but everybody should do this if you have more than 20 videos. Go into your analytics and go to your top 10 videos. Every quarter, at least, optimize your top 10 videos. And by optimize, I mean go into it and ask yourself, does it have YouTube cards at a good place? Here's a tactical thing for you. So you see these YouTube cards are at 3 minutes and at the end. I did those when I first started. These are the clickable YouTube cards. The hack is go to analytics, go to your audience retention, and then go to any drops. So I might actually put a card. So you can see there's little drops here. So at 118, so I have a notepad in front of me. I'd write on my piece of paper here, 118. So there's a little drop right there. 246 for some reason, people kind of drop off. I'd go to like 241. I'd write that down. Down here too, it drops clearly. So there you go. I'm not on camera as usual. Usually something happens. And then I'm back. So 701, there's definitely a drop there, right? So I'd go to like 658. And so I might, and so by re-optimizing, here's what am I doing? I'm looking for a couple of the drops, and I'm putting clickable YouTube cards before the drops to try to keep people on my videos. You know, because of data, that people are watching and they're like, it's a boring part, they're getting distracted. This card pops out and it says something cool like related to the current video. And they're like, oh, I'll click that. All good. They left your video, but instead of going somewhere else, they stayed in your world. So that's one thing. The other thing about re-optimizing your top 10, do you have a pinned comment? Pinned comments are something that we just started recently. it adds another comment to your video. Everybody in VRA should be doing them. We do our question of the day restated in a pinned comment. We also give a call to action, in this case to a webinar, because this is a YouTube training video. But if we do a tech video, then we give a call to action to a playlist. So it's like question of the day, a couple emojis. Also check out other videos like this in our CES series. If someone clicks that, it takes them to a playlist, gives them more options. So updated cards, freshen up the description. Is the top 3 lines have the right link to what you want to send people to? Do you have a pinned comment on there? And also, if it's your top 10, keep sharing your top 10 on social media. You should probably be sharing your top 10 on social media more than even your new stuff, because you don't know if your new stuff's going to be good or popular or not. But your top 10 is the stuff that like has clearly been proven to be popular over time as it's in your top 10. So that gives you 10 posts, maybe 1 per week on Throwback Thursday. Promote your top 10 videos. Schedule that out on your social media, things like that. So all that long answer is then I still might go in and I still would help your winners win more. So in here, I might go to your most popular, and I might just think about, because this also might not be your top 10, but all of these big videos are probably still getting some views. Here's another thing I love about vidIQ is this trending tab. And I think if you pay for a certain video or you pay for one of them, I don't know if everybody has this, correct me if I'm wrong, but see here, it actually shows you which videos have velocity. So this is 2 days old. It's got some velocity. It looks like mostly your new videos, but this year ago one is still getting a little bit of velocity, it seems like. That just means how many views per hour. So what I'm looking for is your basically your lowest hanging fruit. Because I agree, I actually don't think you should optimize all of your videos. You know, go back and do VRA to all of them, but your top 10, maybe your most popular, and the ones, and then the last thing is if it's evergreen or not. So some of these, if it's not evergreen, what does that mean? Well, we use the term evergreen based off evergreen trees. Some trees are seasonal. I did a video about, and some things are not seasonal at all. Some things are short term, like they only happen once, meaning Periscope and Meerkat, like that ship has sailed actually. That's over. It's done with. It's completely gone. Whereas like maybe how to optimize your YouTube channel is one of our top 10 videos, because people are constantly questioning how to do their YouTube channel. So even though it's 8 months old, it's still like just as relevant today as it is. So it sounds like you're doing a lot of news within UFC and WWE, things like that. But what are maybe some of the videos that are evergreen? Work on those and redo VRA to them. And then the last thing is with VRA is you don't really want to mess like with something that's already working. But if something's not working, meaning if it's not ranked, you can change the title in particular. So this is important information for everybody to know. If you change the title of a YouTube video, it does re-index it. But if you change the description and the tags, it doesn't. So if you want to optimize an old video that's working and make it better, mess with the tags, change the description, re-promote it on social media, you're good. If you're going to change the title, you really want to make sure it's dead. And if it is dead, there's no harm in changing the title. So there's a lot of things you can do to where you're like, maybe that video didn't do as good as it should have. It's not ranking, but it's great content. What I like to do, and we talk about this in VRA, so dive into those modules, is treat it like if I have, maybe make a list, because maybe there's only 5 to 10 videos on your channel that are relevant for this, but you're like, man, these really could have like a renewed lifespan. Relaunch one a week for like the next 5 to 10 weeks. And by relaunch, what I mean is do the research, retitle it, maybe do a fresh thumbnail, and update the description, update the tags, and then launch, promote it on social. Hey guys, check out this video all about X, tweet it, Facebook it, do whatever, because you want to put a little juice on it right when you launch it to give it a chance to rank. As if you were releasing a new video, you want to relaunch it. And that tip about the thumbnails was one thing I did at Think Media years into it, there was a couple old evergreen videos and they weren't the best. And so they started having new thumbnails to very old content, but it gave it renewed lifespan. This was a new thumbnail. So it was just me talking in my car. I cut out one little picture, but I put kind of like a new graphical deal. This was new. Now, like this is a good example. This is not rankable. This is like a classic video that I did for my youth ministry. You know, this is entertainment. This is just for me. So I didn't re-optimize this because nobody's out there wanting to potentially watch this video. Did you see that coming? That's why I went to that point in the video. I'm okay. I survived. So anyways, so that's not really re-optimizable, but I was like, vlogging tips or video blogging tips and tricks. I retitled this, re-thumbnailed it, and video blogging tips and tricks, even though it was like a 2010 video. And so a couple thoughts for you there.
Wow, that was awesome, Sean. Thank you for showing us that glimpse of history. That was really good.
Yeah, I actually really did get hit by that car, Heather. And we shot the scene multiple times. So there's like, I wish I knew After Effects. I didn't. So what we did was I walked and then I stopped and the car came at only like 5 to 7 miles per hour and actually hit me. And then Spencer stopped too. And then we sped it up and he was frozen so that we could speed it up. Horrible idea. By the way, disclaimer, do not try that at home. Because it took about 5 takes and like the whole leg was all bruised up. Because even getting hit by a car at 7 miles per hour still hurts. So yeah, that's, you know, wisdom you learn in the hard.
Well, we are, let's take a couple more. What do you think, Sean? Maybe 1 or 2 rapid fire really quick. What do you think?
Yeah, let's rapid fire it up.
So we're at 7:30. Terrence has this vlog channel, wants to know if you should rename it. So he's named it right now, TC3 Vlogs. It's all about shoes. Kick Life is what I'm seeing here. So what a cool, this is what I love about YouTube, guys. There's so many niches. I wouldn't know anything about these kind of shoes. So this is just so cool. So what do you have for him, Sean?
I think that you're in a hot niche. Clearly, I think, you know, I could see a couple things. I agree. Like, this is kind of confusing to me. I sort of I definitely, you know, kicks. That makes sense. I think a rename's not going to hurt you. And so if you feel like a new name, I'd just go for it, especially, you know, early in the game. And this for sure doesn't speak to what it is. You know, as a general tip, I like Epic Meal Time speaks to that there's food in it, you know, or like, you know, Electric Fitness. You're like, it is a fitness channel. You know, Think Media. Well, there's media in the title. Video Influencers, it's a channel about video. Now they're also first and last name if you're a personal brand. But yeah, I mean, I also don't think the name is bad. At the end of the day, like, you're going to build it up and meet people because of ranking videos, talking about sneakers, jumping on trends. And people, the name is what you make it because, you know, what's Google? We only know Google is because Google built a company and they built the biggest search engine and now it has meaning. But if you think of a better name, my biggest tip generally is, again, I think the most powerful brand names explicitly let you know what the value proposition is in the title in some way, if that's possible. So, you know, Sly Sneakers. I'm not saying that's a good name, but, you know, it's a kind of alliteration. Friends of ours had a thing called Charisma on Command, and they teach like kind of persuasion, how to be more charismatic, be more outgoing. And it kind of has that cool alliteration. It's a strong name. Charisma on Command, over 1 million subscribers now. They built that up. That's a few tips there. Barnabas asks, I have a video approaching 1.3 million views. Congrats. What can I do to maximize the return on it? I have YouTube cards and I have it in playlists. It's a short film, bringing about 100 views every day. I'm planning on making another short film. Couple things that I would do. Actually, there's some big tactics. Let me give you one recommendation. Go to Think Media and watch this video. You could type in momentum, Think Media. I forget what 3 tips for gaining momentum. It's exactly what to do after you have a breakout. It's 25 minutes long, so we'll go a little bit deeper on that. But the immediate thing you want to do, yes, YouTube cards, yes, pinned comment, yes, description. The immediate thing you want to do is some follow-up related videos. because your biggest opportunity is to be featured in your own suggested videos around that video. So I failed at this. I did a video called How to Get Free Stuff on Amazon, and it got 2.3 million views. What I should have done is 4 to 10 Amazon videos that are similar. You know, 3, like maybe another video called 3 ways to find free Amazon coupon codes. Makes sense? And then when you do it and you tag it and do it everything with VRA, the goal is this one video is getting all this traffic, but then you're also getting all this other traffic from suggested videos. The best way you're going to siphon traffic off your own viral video is by a follow-up cluster of videos that are very related. So again, free stuff on Amazon, lots of other free stuff. I'm not sure what that means for you, but it would have been other Amazon videos for me along the same intent. Whatever is blowing up and popular, what is the intent of the people that are following it? What do they want to get out of that? Create a series that feeds that same intent. Like you finish one, like if you like this, you're also going to like this. Make videos that they would want to watch right after or halfway through. They click on that as a suggested video. They still stay in your world. Renata says, you say that YouTube values recency. Does that mean you should recreate some of your older videos to make sure that they're new? How would you go about that and use the same title? Absolutely. I do this all the time. I do this all the time. So now it makes sense in YouTube tips, but here's a good example. How to grow your YouTube channel fast in 2018. I mean, if we go how to grow your YouTube channel. Now, and there's one recency. It's a new year. So I'll make 2019. I'll make 2020. How to grow your YouTube channel. That's what we got. We got how to grow your YouTube channel fast, 3 tips. How to grow your YouTube channel fast on 2018. It's the exact same title. What are we even doing? But 2 different channels, you know, goal is to take it all. Justin from VRA, nevertheless, how to grow your YouTube channel fast. And he's in there. How to grow your YouTube channel with Facebook. And that's a little bit different. And it goes on and on. There you go. How to grow your YouTube channel fast 2017. Are you seeing the trend? A playlist, how to grow your YouTube channel. Twitter. And we could probably keep going. How to grow your YouTube channel quickly. Right? Because I was like, okay, 1 video, 1 keyword. How to grow your... So fast is one thing. Fast. All right. Q. Quickly. So I found like 1 keyword. And let's see. So it's just this weird nuance. And it doesn't even rank. But it ranked better for the other one. That's strange. But hey, there you go. So I think you get the idea. Here's what I also know is that you know more each year. Every year, the video is better. Now, I don't try to just make the same thing. I try to make it a little bit stronger, a little bit quicker. Video production's a little bit better. Get to the point a little bit faster. The hook is a little bit stronger. Thumbnail is a little bit better. So yeah, because you're also positioned to make a better video a year later. Navina says, can I use up to 30? I use up to 30 seconds for another YouTube video, naming the source, of course. And if yes, how could I do that? Which software should I use? Yes. So here's the thing when it comes to fair use. I recommend if it's a hard deal, but what's interesting is if you watch a lot of YouTube, there's whole channels that what they make their content off is reviewing other content, watching other content. In fact, let me recommend Charisma on Command. And let me recommend 2 things for you. So watch the interview with Charisma on Command. So that's with Charlie. And Charlie, they probably thought I meant Sheen influencers. How to spell. Here you go. So how to get, so Charisma on Command, but he talks about, technically with fair use, if you make an original piece of content and you're talking about Conor McGregor and the UFC, you can use clips from the fight. You can use photos. You can use all that stuff. You're supposed to cite your source. So check out Charisma on Command. Also check out Evan Carmichael. Evan Carmichael is one of the best examples of like an entire channel made off of other people's stuff. Gary Oldman, 10 rules to overcome your stuff. He downloaded this and then he just put rule on there. Now look, he makes it his own because he's like, yo guys, check this out. And then he just lists the rules on the left and he plays this clip of the guy that he downloaded off the internet. He plays this clip somewhere else. He plays that clip from the guy's movie. He plays that. And so the answer is yes, you can do it. Now, should you choose to go down that road, I do not promise you a life of no issues. When you watch the video with Charlie, he mentions the UFC cracked down big time and will shut down their videos. They disputed it and actually got their videos reinstated because they really studied fair use law. They were using the content correct, but YouTube's going to default to a big company like UFC initially. So they lost ad revenue. They lost some things. Some people, my friend Chad Wildclay has had over 50 copyright disputes on music. He's won all 50, but man, it's caused him some major headaches because the nature is you are using other people's content. Best way I would do it is 4K video downloader. So that's my favorite way to download stuff. You just go 4K video downloader. And that's, you can still download 1080p stuff, but I do this. Maybe it's not for Mac. Keepvid.com is another one. And if you have to pay for KeepVid Pro, we did recently, we use these different tools. And so, yeah, I would go for that. But then let me also say this. This presents a huge opportunity for a lot of us in VRA of opening up whole new like series of content, meaning we can, some of the things we're considering doing, not even considering, we will do, is I'm going to do live streams where I break down people's videos. So I might take like a marketer like Marie Forleo, and I would download her video. I would be like, hey, what's up, guys? In this video, we're going to be breaking down the persuasion and marketing and phraseology and tactics that Marie Forleo uses in her videos. Let's go. And I'll play it. I'll pause it. I'll say, did you see what she did there? Did you see what she said? That's like a React channel. That's like, and the possibilities are endless. Like this should be a whole, we'll talk about it someday else in VRA, but you probably didn't know the biggest YouTuber, PewDiePie, his content is almost all other people's content. He just reviews Reddit. He watches videos, and he has a show called You Laugh, You Lose, where he just plays other videos and reacts to them. And that's the rules. If you laugh, you lose, and then nobody's keeping score. And like, it's funny. And he even self-aware makes jokes about the fact that the biggest YouTuber never creates original content. He commentates on other content. People have created whole movie review channels. They can play clips of the movie under fair use, and they play it and they commentate on it. This is a whole world. So if that's right for you or it's sparking some inspiration, consider going down that path. It could open up a whole new channel or a whole new show or a whole new arena of content, but you got to do your due diligence, and there is a lot to learn and study. Kimberly says, how long should annotation videos go at the end of the video when recommending other videos? Should I start with a handful of seconds? At this point, the end card is only 20 seconds, and I like to use all 20 seconds. So I just land the plane with about 20 seconds of content, and just making sure the editing, the description after the upload, adding anything else. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Heather, maybe you could jump in. But if, again, maybe watch, as far as end card execution, how we do end cards, check out recent Think Media videos. I've kind of figured out my script. So I normally say question of the day. I'll be like, hey, question of the day. I do that according to the VRA framework. And then I do this. So I created this in Photoshop. You could use something like Canva. These pop up and I know what I'm going to say. And it's about 20 seconds long as I'm talking, and people have a chance to click on these. So
yeah. So if you go to my latest video, Sean, on my channel, I wanted to show the end card piece, because I think what she's asking is, like, how do I do it with editing in those end cards with something at the end? My latest one is about the homeschool room. Everyone gets to see our beautiful homeschool room all the way at the end. I just did this with a small camera. Boom. This, all it is just, I finished the video, and then when I edited it, I tacked on a 20-second image at the end of the video, and then I just put those on as my annotations at the very end. So it doesn't, like Sean's has like video block and it's very fancy, as it should be, whereas mine is super simple, but I use the whole 20 seconds to use that up. And I just did that in editing with just a frame and a picture. Super easy.
Awesome. CJ, have you guys ever helped YouTubers with anxiety grow their channel? My anxiety has caused me to think about negatively about things with my channel, and I'm surely passionate about my niche. Yeah, I mean, CJ, I think so. I know that And I have no idea of the severity. I know personally that my wife is something she struggles with. Something I personally have dealt with anxiety, probably especially. I told Heather about this. She said I should talk about it more, especially as it pertains to like being stretched, shoot days. If I ever have a shoot day up, I like deal with like almost crippling anxiety. I always want to call it off. I always want to shut it down. So I just want to encourage you that that on the one hand, I want to be extremely empathetic that you do have setbacks. It's a challenge. I can relate to it because it's in my family, etc. But I also want to challenge you. Everybody's got something. And if it's not anxiety, it's, a marriage that's on the rocks right now. And there's tons of stress and worry that's happening with that, or it's extreme financial strain, or it is health challenges, other things you've heard our story, that we deal with, or it is, some kind of it's some setback in life. Heather and her daughter just got in a crazy car accident. And not only did that throw their life off, but of course it threw off her rhythm and some of the things she'd want to do. And it affected things in our company, but that's life, right? So also keeping in mind that, keep pressing through and keep going for it, but being remembered that like collectively as humans, literally we all are facing something. And no matter who you follow online and maybe how good their Instagram feed looks, mine looks really good because Omar is a great photographer. That's the only reason. When I met Omar, my Instagram feed looked better, but my Instagram feed's not my life. And we deal with issues and stuff all the time. My wife and I fight, and we have disagreements, and we have health challenges we're facing today, like things we're dealing with. And so I just want to encourage you that like we all are struggling, that everybody's struggling with something. And the key is not a struggle-free life. It's overcoming in the midst of those challenges. Yeah, you have anxiety, but work through it. And you will be somebody who will also be able to encourage others. Because what I like, here's the last thing to think about. If there's anyone on planet Earth who has succeeded with what you have, right? If there's anybody who's had maybe crippling anxiety that's managed to still build a big business or finish that book or do that YouTube channel, which actually it's interesting a lot. YouTubers actually have a lot of problems. You start getting into YouTubers' lives and like a lot of them deal with heavy depression. It's kind of a weird thing because you're usually an introvert. You sit in your room and you talk to a camera alone. Like, again, you get into the reality of stuff. I just want to encourage you is that to also always be just looking, knowing that if somebody that has my thing, and somebody does, there's someone on planet Earth that with whatever you're going through, and I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to everybody that's on this call or on the replay. If somebody's been able to do it and accomplish that dream and do that thing with that same setback, affliction, challenge, then you can too. So take heart in the fact that we're all battling something, but the key is to battle, to keep fighting. If you got to rest, that's good. If you have a down day, that's fine. If you have a setback, that's fine. But always get up again and go for it again and keep working to break through and then use tools to work with it. So guys, thank you for hanging out tonight. Man, about 2 hours of hanging out. We have a couple more calls. Heather, do we have 2 more?
Yes, we do. We have 2 more. Yep. Sorry. We have 2 more calls.
So they're like once a month. So we'll hit you on the calendar with the next one. Here's the final thing for the 35 of us that are still hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, wherever you are. If you're on the replay and you're still here, thanks for being here. Thanks for investing in VRA. Now I want to challenge you to go for it and to put in the work. Number one, you already are doing it. I know Heather and I are so pumped from getting to see some of your channels, see your videos, see your consistency. But now is the time to do the work, and let's take it back to the beginning. The window of opportunity right now is insane. But Sean, it's competitive. Yeah, it is. And it is more competitive now than it was in 2010. There's no doubt. But today is the least competitive day on YouTube that there will ever be again. Because a year from now, it's going to be harder, right? And so find a way to outwork your competition based on the reality of your life and find a way to out-strategize, outthink, to go a different direction. And here's what we recommend. If you haven't finished the modules, keep going in VRA. Keep watching the videos. Keep doing the modules. keep taking notes, but also if you haven't started posting, post at the same time. We don't ever learn by just the two ruts I see people fall in is number one, they fall into the rut of only taking notes, only learning, only like feeling like you need another piece of information before you start. That's not true. That'll hold you back. You don't want to be stuck in learning only. But the other rut people fall in, and I see some people doing only. I've seen some people are like, man, I've been posting every day, 7 days a week for like a year, man, and I'm not getting traction. Clearly something's wrong. You need a pivot in strategy, a pivot in niche. You need some information. You need some fresh strategy. You need to work on something. So it's never just doing and it's never just learning. It's both. And it's the combination of both. And I want to encourage, the vlogger that we were talking about on here, you have 20 videos up. I want to encourage you to get your next 20 up. I want to encourage you to get to 100. And this might sound discouraging, but I honestly feel like your first 100 videos are the preseason. Like I want to challenge you to, as quickly as possible, even if it's once a week, it'll take 2 years, as quickly as possible, get to 100 videos. And when you get to 100 videos, by the way, Heather's not even close. Like Heather's at 25, right? Is that true? Like Heather's at 25 videos.
I don't even think it's 25, guys. I don't think I'm even that far, but I'm getting there. I'm doing it.
And let me think about that. Like, so Heather knows she's already a ninja. She's already VRing. We're looking at this video right here, homeschool room tour. It's just doing great. You got simple homeschool room. Great keyword, Heather. Good find. Rank number 8. Good stuff. But let me ask you this: like Heather's going to be an assassin at 100 videos because she's done it. She's titled them and she's her thumbnails will be better. Her tags will be better. Her understanding will be better. Her confidence on camera. You know what I mean? Like it's just the name of the game. When you put in the work, you learn as you go. And if you look at my work and videos and you think, man, Sean's smooth at communication. The videos look good. That this looks good. Remember, I've posted over 2,000 videos online and 1,600. Now, so you can see some of them on Think Media, some on Video Influencer, some on Sean Thinks, but it's because I posted hundreds of videos on my church channels, on youth ministry channels. I also actually, and then it weren't all online. I did videos that were on DVD or played on VHS, and 1,600, I like to say, of those were pretty terrible. But one of the reasons where I got to a level of competency was just by doing it so much. That's how mastery is developed. And that might be like, you're like, dude, that's not encouraging, bro. That's like, but it should be, because you're early still. The party's not over. The party's just getting started. So when you put in the work, I want you to get to that 100 videos, because you're going to be so lethal when you get there. You'll have learned so much. You'll be better at editing. You'll be better at understanding the social media tactics, ranking, all this other stuff. But also, you'll be positioned for future opportunities. The education you'll get on that climb will better position you to capitalize and be ready for momentary opportunities. One of the reasons why Periscope versus Meerkat, when I saw opportunities like that, it's just because I was doing this so much for a couple years that now I feel like I'm Neo in the Matrix. And all of a sudden, I used to not even realize that I wasn't living in reality or whatever. But then I took the blue pill, and I'm not sure which red pill, blue pill. This analogy's falling, but I took it, and then I was like, oh, I can read the Matrix now. Now people are shooting bullets. I'm able to dodge them. Why? Sheer repetition, study, learning, doing, but just doing it so much. And that same thing's going to kick in for you. If you're discouraged right now, just keep going. Just get your next video posted. Do your best on your next one, and then be pumped about the next one. And don't ever fall in love too much with one video. One of the things that I realized, and Heather said this earlier, was I just want to get my next 10 videos posted, and I only need 2 of them to rank. Because I don't know if I probably won't be able to rank all 10, but if I try 10 times, I've multiplied, rather than trying to just get one video out, putting all my effort, trying to get it to rank, and then staring at it and being like, why didn't it work? My thought was why don't I try to get 10 videos out? And if one gets 20 views a week, that's going to change my life, because then I'll get my next 10 videos out. And if one gets 30 views a week, then that will keep adding to that library of ranked videos. So the point is, keep learning, keep doing, stay in the modules, stay encouraged, stay focused, because you're building for something greater than your current reality, right? You're building for the future, and you're trying to seize real estate, this land grab of digital real estate, while it still has low competition. It's going to be crazy in 5 and 10 years, right? We'll look back and we'll wish we hustled harder. So like, dude, this got really hard. Our businesses, our brands, things are different now. I wish it was like it was back in 2018. Well, guess what? It is 2018 right now. So let's put in the work, outwork our competition, outthink and out strategize our competition, do our best, and then leave the rest up to life, patience, and everything else. Heather, final words for our community.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for spending time with us. You know, we are just so grateful that you've invested in this program. Sean poured his heart and soul into it when we were creating it. And we're just so grateful that you have invested in yourself. If you have more questions, you can leave them in the Facebook group, because we have, like I said, over 1,000 entrepreneurs and creators in there who want to jump in and help. If you're not already in that Facebook group, definitely tell us in the comments here and I will make sure you get in. Now, we do have a process to get in, meaning you have to leave your email address because we get a ton of requests to join this group, and it is private and only for those who have purchased this academy. So thank you again for spending your evening or your morning. We have someone, Sean, that woke up at like 3 a.m. where they are right now just to watch this. So grateful for you. Thank you for your time.
Yes. Thanks again so much for being here. We'll see you on the next call. In the meantime, we'll see you in the private Facebook group, and definitely stay in the modules. And until next time, remember, we're all about bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.